Good day to you and welcome to the broadcast. Today we are going to be hauling the excavator right here up to our next job where we are going to be building a gravel parking area for cars. Y'all subscribe and stick around. All right, excavator's dropped off. Let's go get some pipe and fabric. I just rolled up with our pipe. We're just going to install a small 6-inch double wall pipe since we don't have really a good way to install it here and stay on budget to get it deep enough to where it won't get crushed when we put it in, but not have it so deep that water just can't flow to the other culverts that diverts the water off the property. I'm going to get the excavator warmed up, moved out of the way. I'm going to lay our pipe out and I'm going to paint a line along that pipe to show me exactly where I'm going to dig to install the pipe, and then I'm going to strip the grass off this area. We'll check back in at that point. Okay, again, hopefully wearing this microphone helps you guys hear me better. What I'm doing is I'm working all of this grass and junk back toward me from that line over there that we cut or drew, so we can load it up in the truck. It's actually not that bad once we get about 2 inches deep. It's actually pretty dry. I was dreading putting this stuff in my truck because it's a bear to get it out. I'm just wanting to get most of the grass off. This grading bucket is where it's at. For sure. There's already some rock in here from something. Talk about making my life a heck of a lot easier. Whoever was commented that a 4-foot bucket would be too big, not for me. I'm gonna love this. And it actually lifts it pretty good too. Now I pulled everything first from the uphill side down into a pile. That way it's downhill from me. It's easier to scoop it up and get it into the bucket. That's a lot of weight right there, folks. I am telling you. We might have to clean the driveway up a little before it's over with. I'd say that's a heavy bunch of dirt. I probably won't fill my bucket up quite that much. I'll just make it easy on myself. That way it's not quite so tipsy. thought I was gonna have to unhook the trailer to do this. We got lucky. Man, that's so much easier to get material in than a tooth bucket. This is the first job I've ever done with a smooth bucket, let alone a tilt grading bucket. That's the trick. If you're going into grading and you've got an excavator, you got to get you one of these. You guys put in the comments what your favorite machine and attachment is for the work you do, whether it's forestry, mulching, grading, ditching, whatever you want to put on here. I'd love to see it. They make me think of something else I need to tell Kelly I need. See, I don't have to have my machine on just the right grade. I can adjust that bucket, and it is a stout son of a gun. I will say that. For anybody that skipped forward, I'm not filling that bucket up because where I'm positioned, it would be a little bit heavy for this machine. And I'm not digging it real deep. I want this pad to be elevated above the area around it. That way water can shed off and around it from the hill coming down. Oops. I knew I'd do it. I got lazy. Lazy. That's what I get. Serves me right. At least it'll be easy to clean up. Big rocks right there. Somebody must have put them there. Must have. That was a little bit of a load going back to the yard, won't we? Well, we get the bulk of this little bit of grass. Probably gonna get all of it in one load, actually. I'll probably just cover that little culvert pipe up straight with road bond. Into the truck with you. This machine's handling that bucket way better than I thought it would. Something hard right there, big old rock, I guess. Maybe I should have unhooked the trailer. I will say it'll handle that bucket, but you got to move a lot smoother. And I'm not the smoothest of operators. I'll not deny that. I'm gonna get it done, operator. Alright, let me get all this scooped up, dress that ditch, and we'll check back in. I'm going to start at the lower end of this ditch. And I'm just going to try to follow it, and hopefully we can get this pipe put in pretty easily. Get some of this sediment out. See, I'm going to just watch this right side and follow that ditch that I've already cut, and then the upper side of the bucket will scoop out what it needs to. And the less of a bite you take, the easier it is to follow that side of the bucket. You can always take more than one bite. And if we get it done and we don't have enough depth, we'll go and do a little bit more. But we've got to dig on down the ditch line if we do that. Probably just going to have to bring in a whole lot more cover, I bet. I would bet that's what I'll have to do. Now I got my little flag. There's an old stump right there that I dug up a little while ago. I've gotten my ditch, it's a ditch, it's pretty much roughed in, and I got the depth that I think I want. I'm going to go ahead and get right here, and I'm going to do kind of a time lapse. It'll be slower, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing as far as finishing this little ditch line out. Well, I'm glad that, no, that's pretty straight. It's got a little bit of curve with it, with the driveway, but that little pipe down here should lay in there and flex right around through there. About there. I love your Gorilla Tape. It's just a little extra measure to help hold these pipes together while I'm backfilling. You know what I mean, Vern? There's that. Before I do fabric, I am going to go ahead and take some of this road bond and drop it on top of this pipe to hold it in place. If I just dump that material out, and I'm not going to dump it with my bucket parallel with the pipe, because if I did that, I would have to drop the material straight on top of the pipe. Otherwise, if you land on either side first, the weight of that material and the momentum will push your pipe. So I like to be at a little bit of an angle right here, and I don't drop it from a great big high point. And it won't take but a few buckets to help secure that pipe in place. And it looks like it's not going to be very deep, but I'm actually going to build every bit of this up with road bond a good way out into the original driveway. And that's what's going to give us that lift that puts us high enough to secure the pipe. It will be plenty secure. Well, I didn't get much that time, did I? Let's just go ahead and spin around and secure this other pipe, since we have two links. I'm telling you, that being a tilt bucket gives me a good little bit of reach. Likewise, it pushed that pipe a little bit this way more than what I want. So what I'm going to do is drop this load right there. See how it moved that pipe just a touch? Next step, cover the pipe. With this load of material, instead of just trying to scoop it and move it, at first I'm just going to kind of pull it to the pipe. And as I go, I'm going to press down on it. If we put too much down at one time, it's going to be harder to compact. Now we've got to move it a little bit farther. By the time I get this one load covering this pipe, I'll be able to drive across that pipe if I want to. Now you better know about how deep your pipe is if you start doing that, because that machine will rip that small of a pipe. I'm not really worried about mixing dirt with this load because it's not the top coat. My fabric's actually going to go across that. the next little time lapse, you're gonna see me work road bond in from the sides, and then I'm gonna track and pack it in. Then I'm gonna use my empty truck to back and forth, and then I'll be able to back across here, load up this dirt, and safely drive back across the pipe without crushing it, in theory. We almost have this pad ready to go. Now that I can sit down on the road, I can reach out and grade this, working my way back and forth, and I'm gonna go from bottom, top to bottom, and I'm gonna work my way away from you guys. And I am gonna do a time lapse just because my truck's going through regen, the excavator's gonna be loud, and I think doing a time lapse, you guys will be able to see how I'm kind of using the tilt bucket to do the grading from the top down, and then I'm just going to push the blade back uphill to get everything smoothed out, and I'll track it as I go. Hopefully you guys enjoy this part. Let's roll out some road fabric. Oh, only about 200 pounds. There's that. We'll get it now. I thought it was going to have to do some relinks there. I wanted to get this all down today because it's supposed to rain all day tomorrow, and I don't want to work in mud. Over like it is. Just going back down here, dump it out, and transfer it with the excavator. That's what I'm gonna do. Let's see what I'm gonna be able to reach. Be nice if I could reach all my corners from sitting right here. And with this bucket, yes. Let's see, can we reach this corner? Yes! Brilliant. Let's do it. To do every spot that I want to. Let's go ahead and put us a little right here. And a little bit right here. How did I ever do without it? It's amazing how heavy that road bond is. I mean, you'd be taking out any phone lines, do we? What was that? Line is going to get snagged. And there it is, my friends, an expansion to their parking area. I think it turned out pretty nice. Let's go over it together here. Number one, let me just point out that no, in this project, yet again, customer didn't want to spring for the cost of me bringing a roller out. Yes, this being on a slope, it would have definitely helped a lot. But this being an Airbnb, the bottom dollar is what counts to them. So I just tracked and packed as best I could. I can't tell you guys how many times I went over this. I actually went over it so many times I turned the camera off because I was getting bored. But I packed and packed and packed as best I could. I left a good sized berm here for two reasons. This little pipe here, I got my flag picked up. I don't want somebody to drive across it first thing, but we both know that's what's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna drive right across it, and I'll be back up here to fix it, I suppose. I'm gonna tell him to put reflectors or a big rock or something here to help prevent that, but I may just stick my little flag back up and let him know that's where a reflector needs to go. But we've got this whole hillside of rain and runoff coming at us. So I left a good sized berm to help catch it here. And like I say, I just tracked and packed as best I could. The reason this looks loose is after I tracked on it, I went back over it with my shovel and just evened the sides out. This is almost kind of a bowl shape here. Therefore, when I first set my corners out, I did not set up this side to where it was straight blocking downhill to where it would dam water up. What I did was put a good little slope on it, and luckily that worked out with it going straight with our road. Therefore, water's going to come down and it's just going to slide right across there. If he wants to, he can put railroad ties or whatever he wants. Just wasn't in the budget or the plans for me to do it. We've got plenty of fabric left over that we're going to use on our next job. Thanks to you guys for joining me on this project. If you guys would consider subscribing, liking, commenting this video, I would certainly appreciate it. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. And I really hope that this video helps somebody out there, whether you're getting into this type of business or if you are just a customer, a consumer who is interested in this kind of work. Between doing the gravel at the top, which was 7.5 tons, and we put, I want to say, about 40 tons into this little spot. I'll have to go back and I'll try to pin it in the comments. It's around 40 to 50 tons. Between that and cutting the pad in, excavation and everything, was around $4,300. Pretty typical for this area. I have done, I don't know how many of these pads, and they always come in around $400 to $5,500. And again, we just put a little 6-inch pipe in because in this situation, without doing a whole lot of grading to get the water to where it would run to the downhill culvert pipes, it's just what we had to go with. And again, thank you for joining me on this project, and we will see y'all next time.